Jumbo, y'all. I just finished reading Solito by Javier Zamora. I hope you can see that here. Actually, I didn't read it. I listened to it on Audible. And honestly, it was such a great experience because it's read by the author himself. And he puts so much feeling into it. And you can just feel him reliving it as he's reading the book. It's very, very powerful. Solito is Javier Zamora's memoir about immigrating to the United States, which he and his family and friends call La USA, because that's how you would say it in Spanish. He's only 9 years old when he leaves, and he migrates by himself because both of his parents are already in California. Imagine that. 9 years old, and he's crossing 3 countries. He starts out in El Salvador, crosses Guatemala, and then has to cross Mexico to go into the United States. Now, don't think that this is a little boy who has been neglected or is unloved and that's why he's going by himself. That is not the case. Javier is wrapped up in so much love and protection at home that he literally does not know how to tie his own shoes because his family does it for him. He's still afraid that a flush toilet will swallow him because he's used to using an outhouse and burying his poop in the backyard. Now, I myself have 2 nephews who are 9, and I cannot imagine either of them going through the travails that he went through on this trip by himself. Solito is humane, touching, and deeply real. It's a view into the push and pull of economic migration. It's a story about blood family, chosen family, hope, fear, kindness, and yes, corruption. This book is about the very people who the Trump administration is calling the very worst of criminals. And what we get to see through Javier's eyes is that so many of these people are just hungry. They're hungry for a better life. They're hungry for more opportunities. And quite frankly, that is a perfectly valid and fair reason to want to move, to improve and better your circumstances. I have a lot of friends who were telling me they were not comfortable with reading Solito right now because they don't want to read anything depressing in a climate that's already pretty depressing. But I want to tell you that to me, Solito is not a depressing book. It is a coming-of-age book. It's a coming-of-age book for Javier. It's also an immigration story. And it's a story about becoming more aware of the world, about becoming braver, and about becoming more human. And that's on the part of the reader or listener. The way Javier tells his story as a 9-year-old with the voice and thoughts and feelings of a 9-year-old boy is absolutely searing. You can feel through his narration how confusing and terrifying and surreal it is to be at the mercy of strangers in a land where you've never been, having experiences you never thought you would have. Some of those strangers become his protectors, but quite frankly, some of them don't. I strongly suggest that you read Solito, or even better, listen to it. And then visit teachingcentralamerica.org and read about El Salvador's history and how it came to be one of the poorest countries in the Western Hemisphere. Because as in all things, but especially in the context of child immigration, context matters. Check it out.